Coronavirus is the first time seen in human existence. And when they are maybe go before, it's not true. This is the first time coronavirus is appearing in human existence. Ndibo anubro makagene coronavirus. But they are in the family of what? Viruses. There are still many viruses you've not heard of, or they have not affected human. And we pray in the future will never do what? Affect human. Now, what is coronavirus? Coronavirus is a family of virus that has organic particle. Coronavirus. You know, coronavirus is different from COVID-19. Do you know that? Coronavirus is different from what? COVID-19. Coronavirus is the general family of a particular what? Virus. A particular sibling living beginning the family of COVID-19. How do you go to Amnona? If I can have an address Ofedu family. Ofedu family bu corona gene virus family. Name Ofedu family Kodoyin na chosi. Yeah, I'm trying to make illustrations here. Kodoyin na chosi ni imi Ofedu family believe. Ndamu ni imi ameregene ilenne. For you to identify a particular person in achi, say na chosi again if from Ofedu or Otwa coronavirus bu a sibling in the family of what? Coronavirus. So the one we are suffering from among the coronavirus from COVID-19. Hantavirus is still among the family of what? Coronavirus. There are so many viruses amongst them. But the one that has posed strength is the one we're about to do what? To discuss. Then what is coronavirus? Is coronavirus a living thing? No. It is not what? A living thing. Because living things are things that can eat, precipitate, breathe, and do what? Reproduce. But in this case, this coronavirus cannot eat, cannot breathe, cannot reproduce. It depends on a cell of another what? Human or organism to do what? To be able to do all these things. That means, ordinarily, without coronavirus investing any of our cells, they cannot produce, they cannot respirate, they cannot do what? Excrete. Until now here a clean air with what? A particular cell membrane of every other what? Organism, in order to portray the attributes of a living what? Thing. Now, coronavirus. It is an infectious to reproduce, not produce. To reproduce. Organic particle that depends on a host cell to reproduce and expand in its what? Membrane. It carries the that depends on a host cell to reproduce and expand in its what? Membrane. It carries the RNA and DNA of an what? Of an organism. Now, what is coronavirus? They are not bacteria. They are not pathogens. They are not living what? Things. Because bacteria are living things. When you are infected by a parasite or by a bacterial infection, you are dealing with a living what? Thing. But in this case, They are just organic particle. Mmadụ ji aka eme gịnị lụ. Ọ dị ka mmadụ baa na stage now, baa na lab now, with the different organic what? Particles. Build ya gịnị? Build ya DHA. You know that DHA are what? Genetic what? Qualities. Something that transfers gene from one generation to what? The other. Now, when build the DHA n'ime, or see something infectious n'etiti ya, where is there DHA we make gịnị? We surround the area. Where is there different types of what? Protein, organs. We make coat. We make gịnị? Coat where and send it to a particular what? Organism. Such DNA needs to match with a particular host, which is a host of an organism, a host of a human being, a host of an animal. That host means what? The cell of another living thing, in order for that DNA to be activated and start infecting the particular surrounding of the. In other words, we are suffering from something somebody just stood in a lab to do what? To prepare. And the thing they bad in the sense that is how it easily conquers the immune what? System, because it comes with a pretense. Over three different what? Codes, which are proteinous what? Codes. Apart from the RNA and DHA, which normal cells may begin boom. It carries three different codes. The first code is what? The nucleocapsid code. It is a proteinous code. It is a proteinous code. Protein code. Code H where megani, where cover when we can megani send there. So that once it comes into the body, the cells will do what? We receive it, thinking it is something you put into your body to do what? To energize yourself, or something you are giving into your what? Your cells. And you know, without all this protein code, it will not be easily be what? Taken by what? The cells. Do you understand? The fusion will not take place. The receiving will not do what? Take place. Then, Obona, the cells of the body that needs this and also has this. If you're here yesterday when we were discussing about cancerous cells, you see how this ingredient, this enzyme, apoptosis, were able to do what? To program those cells to fight themselves. The same thing there. Once a particular cell fully here, they always come together to cling to that thing. Do you understand? Now, this coronavirus was prepared in a way that it carries two different codes. It has three codes, but amongst the three codes, they are two different proteinous what? Codes, as same as what? A cell membrane, a normal human what? Cell. Now, the second code in this our in coronavirus is called what? The glyco what? Protein code. Glycoprotein what? Code. Then it also carries now the first one is a capsid, then it now carries inside of it the RNA and what? The DNA. Then lastly, at the middle of it, it carries an infectious what? Bacteria. Do you understand? Now, this is simply what I mean. This is the first code of this coronavirus. Inside of the first code, it carries what? This is a capsid protein, which is the first one. It carries a capsid protein. In this protein, you will see traces of what? RNA in it. Ihe agara n'etiti adịka line. Ogene RNA, which is a genetic what? Quality. RNA. I will start naming after drawing. Now, on the second shell, you get your what? Glycoprotein code, which is the second shell. you get this one, the glycoprotein code. Now, it's at the middle of between two different glycoprotein codes. You also get now the essence of all these protein codes will all batanaro. The cell will not see it as what? As an enemy, but what? A friend.
Chinese friend.
So, see, here we are madam and never mad be. Carries what? This one, this line, this single line carries the what? RNA, which is a genetic what? Quality. Now, this one carries what? The DNA. This one, inside of it, where the RNA is called what? The first protein code, nucleocapsid. Then, finally, the last coating cell, glycoprotein membrane. Please, glycoprotein membrane. Now, this is how it happens. Coronavirus again. If you go for a restructure of a normal cell, if you know what the structure of a cell, that a cell can precipitate, can do what? Can excrete, can reproduce. That is why if you drink glutathione, your cells will do what? Will reproduce itself. Do you understand? But in this case, this is lifeless, except it cleans once it gets into the body. Who is coming inside of this body? And once it comes, it will meet up with this glycoprotein. Oh, okay. It will now do what? Hook up on the sides. Then you see a normal cell. Normal cell the chemical compound will do what? Will fuse together with that of what? Normal what? Cell. Normal cell is this glycoprotein in order to receive it. Because you know that this glycoprotein is the same thing that converts amino acid into what? Neurotransmitters. And the cell that normal getting glycoprotein, not knowing that it is an enemy in what? In disguise. Now, the first the cell receive all this glycoprotein. Or generally the second cell. Or meet another form of what? Protein, nuclear what? Capsid. Or then just at the third one to convert it to what? Neurotransmitters. And you know the work of neurotransmitters. They are the things that send signals go to the brain for a particular action to happen in what? In the body. Neurotransmitters are the things that once you think about something in your mind, you will receive a signal from what? The brain. You get ready or start performing a particular thing. Or a particular sensation will start doing what? Happening. They transfer signal from one part of the body to what? Another. Example. Much of the effects of neurotransmitters now during sexual intercourse, especially in men. It is the action of that neurotransmitter. We go and give signal to what? The brain. The brain will now give commands to the what? To the sperm cells to release a lot of what? Spermatozoas. Or at that point, that is the action of what? Neuro what? Transmitters that gives command for that spermatozoa assisting a sperm cell again, the sperm sac again. Do you understand? Now, These cells will now be able to see, because even God is wise and our cells are what? Are wise. Now, okay, all our words, friend, we need to make use of what they have. Or maybe the second coating. Remember, it is 3 different words. Coating in disguise. Then lastly, where the cells will be now in trouble is when they will now claim with this word. RNA and what? DNA, which contains the infectious words, particle in it. Now, conquers our own main words, cells. Do you understand? And once that cells is being conquered, do you understand? Do you know what will happen? They will now move from that sac, because once it gets into your body, it settles in your words, in your throat for like what? 4 days. On again, na throat to give. Okay, ma. Before a particular burglary incident will take place, believe you me, before surveillance. Now watch then receive true information. In case. That is why they spend 4 days on the words, on the esophagus and throat region, to study the words, the body, and how it does what it works. Finally, it will find itself in the words, in the cells, and land, not in the words, lungs. Before lungs, it has succeeded in clearing up what? The cells. After go with your cells, or where again, lungs. And at this stage, he can feel like again. Do you understand? It takes this before on the cells, it takes like a first day to what? 8th day. It can afford any kind of what? Symptom. Even your cells are no gear complete. Now, after killing of the cells, oxygen and the cell membrane by the lungs. Or by the lungs will be infected with the infection open. And the signs you can have after that time of infection. You will not receive a severe word, a symptom at that time. Do you understand? Now, according to the US doctors, that the first thing the man can distinguish between pneumonia, because all put similar words, symptom. But the difference is that number one is that when it comes to the infection of this COVID-19, you always involve in dry cough. It can happen, but the way he can make it, but all pneumonia, as maybe you can ask to chisi or coronavirus, but he may forget it. He may see to take any, he may this to shake, or he get to one side, blow your nose at least at that time in airway. Do you know why? Because at that time, all kind of within the walls of what? The lungs. In fact, cell what? The lungs. Then finally, this happens between the 1st day to the what? 8th day. Just like I said. Then from the 8th day, it will go straight to the air what? Sac. Where every human being stores what? Oxygen in the lungs. It will go there, settle. Because it needs a cell to reproduce. And it has gotten the cell because cells are their neurotransmitter, thinking it is something that we make use of. They have succeeded in killing the cells and carrying the neurotransmitters with them. So once they get into the air sac, they will start doing what? Reproducing. Do you understand? It is then they become a fatty what? A fatty cell or membrane. That is so to a fatty tissue, they can easily melt away. That is why you are said to wash your hand mainly with soap. Soap protects you from corona more than what? Sanitizers. Because when it comes to fats, or oil, you must introduce a detergent that contains a lot of what? Chlorine and sodium. To do what? To dissolve it and melt it away. Or when we can again, sapua. That is the main reason, even in US. Apart from your sanitizer, you must first of all wash your hand with what? Running soap and what? Water. before you do what? You apply your what? Sanitizer. But even sanitizers goes a long way in doing what? In dissolving them. Sanitizers that are rich in what? Alcohol, because alcohol also dissolves what? Fats. Oh yeah, but if you have alcohol, the person will be very what? Skinny. If you are there making it on our body, because it shrinks the fatty what? Tissues. And once all settled by the air sac, it will start with producing mucus. Yeah, mucus be a bikini. But on this case, it is very, very what? Thick. On our search, the air what? Sac. You cannot be able to do what? To take out what? Carbon dioxide. And you cannot be able to do what? To take in oxygen. Now, in that case, you will see that they start struggling with breathing because you have all the air sac in the lungs. Or maybe again, saturate something like here. You are now left with little or no what? Space. And if there is carbon dioxide to come out from your body, or so you see them, they always have difficulty in what? In breathing, because it settles in this air what? Sac. Now, coronavirus has so many symptoms like symptoms of pneumonia. Number one is feverish condition. You'll be feeling what? Feverish. But the first thing the person will lose the sense of what? Smell. Or you now lose easy. Because if you go getting a block go, all the going when easy. It has got to be easy or mama. But the difference is that it always comes with what? Pneumonia always comes with what? Mucus that you can easily do what? Bring out. And for you to be able to bring out that mucus means that the lungs are not what? Infected. But you cannot bring out this mucus from corona because what mucus are making infect the lungs. Or when look at the lungs, you can see. Because do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, all the pipe here now. Each one is set to finally at the end of the pipe. Each one can man the chop back. Here no good pipe chop back here. It was the general pipe making cause you all Obania. Because it's your so that someone gets in there push you take it. Can make an aqua now what's happening again another part of the body, inside of the body, and continue infecting the body and be going. Or you no getting or you have but upon at the lungs, and we're what? Infected. You can easily seize your what? Your breath and bring it what? Out. Do you understand what I mean? Yes. Now, a US doctor said that if you want to know the difference between catarrh and what? Coronavirus, that you should breathe in, seize your breath for like what? 5 to 10 minutes or up to minutes, not seconds. Yes, they do it now. They say from minutes to what? From seconds to minutes. Oh, and as in most times, our body, you can easily endure breath. Anyway, normally you can seize your breath. How come I seize the breath for more than 20 minutes? Yes. Our swimmers do it. It is there for like 5 seconds. A manner, your lungs are getting infected. Ordinary what? Cold. Or corona. This is the primary test. How you go do the man if you procure a symptom of what? Coronavirus. The one someone I see is in your breath. Do you understand? You can seize your breath. But no one waking or get alcohol or message in walking breath. Yeah. Hallelujah, Megan. For long. Oh, before just a simple test for what? For corona. Once it is a proof that that lungs are what? Infected. And when it comes to pneumonia, the lungs are not infected, but they are what? A lot of mucus. They store a lot of what? Mucus in them. Can easily dissolve by either anything heat. That is why once a mucus gets into the air sac, it forms a fatty what? Tissue. Even heat can do what? Can dissolve them. Then the main prevention to this is what? Really boosting your what? Your immune using vitamin what? C. Now, let's see the work of vitamin C, or how does vitamin C helps in what? The treatment, or goes a long way in the treatment and prevention of what? Coronavirus. Naturally,